Hi everyone, my name is Nicole and I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to do a quick little nervous system reset. So if you've been carrying around anxious energy and second guessing yourself, or just feeling a bit out of sorts, you've come to the right place today. A lot of the exercises we're going to do today would be things that I might do with my clients before we do deeper, more personalized work. These can also be used throughout the day or every day to help teach the nervous system basically how to settle. Remember, doing these practices over and over again start to create new patterns in our nervous system, in our brains, so we can experience more ease in life. If you could like, subscribe, or comment. Comments are my love language. I would love to hear how your experience went with this practice. I'd love to hear from you. With that said, let's get started. So you can find just a spot seated where you feel comfortable. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do something called orienting. So we're showing our bodies through sight that where we are is safe, because sometimes we can tell ourselves that we're safe, we can tell ourselves to calm down, but sometimes the body communicates in other ways. So first, just feeling your bum, feeling your seat, and just noticing, do you feel a little more weight on the left or the right? Just bringing attention there, that's all we're doing. It's okay if you feel more weight on one side than the other. Just seeing if you can send all your attention there and see if you can actually visualize what you're seated on, what that fabric is made out of. And just feel that supporting you, the support that you get without having to do anything or ask for anything. And then you're just going to take your eyes and you're going to start to explore the space you're in. So just looking around the room that you're in. And also noticing, do your eyes catch on anything? Or did your eyes find anything interesting? And sometimes you might feel like a breath come in, which is a great sign of regulation. Just looking all the way to the left or the right. And then just slowly bringing your attention back to center. And then we're back at the center, just noticing how you feel, seeing if you can still feel your bum. And we're going to go the other way. So just noticing the colors that you're seeing, the lights, the shadow, textures, objects. You can even say hello to them in your mind if you'd like. Hello picture. Looking up, looking down, and just letting your curiosity guide this experience. And looking all the way behind you so you can see what's behind us. Maybe look up and then just slowly come back to center. This is a really good exercise to do when you arrive into maybe a new place. We look around all the time, but just slowing it down and really bringing all your attention to what you're doing. And then we're just going to bring some attention to our skin. So just taking one hand and just lightly rubbing the arm, the hand, and then just switch and just notice the sensation. That's all we're doing here. You can do that to the legs, noticing the legs. And just your back, or just noticing the hands. And then you can come to the head and just give yourself a really nice scalp massage. So just noticing that you can even tug the hair a little bit if you have hair. And just letting that settle. Maybe feel a little bit of heat, or maybe feel a little more alive. I definitely feel more alive after a scalp massage. And then the next thing we're going to do is a little bit of tapping. So just taking the pads of the fingers and we're going to just tap on the cheekbones. Eyes can be open or closed. You get to choose. I'm just noticing the breath as you tap. If you don't like tapping, you can always just press and breathe. And then we're going to come to the collarbones. And just tapping below the collarbones, just below. Just going to do the one side in case it's a little bit noisy on the mic there. And I'm just noticing a breath come in naturally, which is a nice sign of regulation. And then tapping the sternum. And this can help stimulate the vagus nerve, which can help bring us into a calm and present state. Then we're going to move to just below the ribs. Or not below the ribs, but on the ribs. Just below the chest. Tap there. And we're going to just let that go and rest. Let that integrate. I like to think of this like sand settling to the bottom of the ocean after a little wave came in. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use some sound, and this will naturally provide some vibration to our vagus nerve. So we're going to make the sound VOO, VOO, and it should come from deep in the belly. We're going to do it 3 times. And you can make the sound until your breath runs out. You may not hear me do that because the mic doesn't always pick it up, but just make the sound until the breath runs out and just noticing any vibration that you might feel. You can also play around with where your jaw is. So taking a breath in. And let that rest. Notice where you felt the vibration. And then let's take in another breath. Noticing where you felt the vibration and just letting that settle. And then taking in one more breath. And letting that settle. Just letting that integrate. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're just going to do a self hold and a little bit of a rock. So taking the right hand, sliding it under the left armpit. Take a breath. Notice how that feels. Your palm against your left armpit, the left side of your chest. And then taking the left hand and wrapping it around the upper right arm. Just noticing how it feels to be held by you. And then just add in a gentle rock originating from the base of the spine. And then eyes can be open or closed. And just notice, do you like to slow down a little bit and move really slow? Bringing the attention to where you feel your hands supporting your body, to where your body receives the support from your hands. And also bringing your attention down to where your bum is being supported by wherever you're sitting. On that rocking motion. And just enjoy this rocking motion. And now let's let that settle. And hands can just come to the thighs. And just check in on how you're feeling. You feel more grounded, softer, even if it's just a little tiny bit. These itty bitty tiny shifts, they add up into big shifts, especially when we do them often throughout the day. Just reminding our nervous system, like, this is how we can regulate. This is how we come back into regulation. Um, and it's okay to have that anxious energy, or maybe like a more numb, lower energy. It's just, can we come back into the center, into regulation after a wave? So remember, change doesn't come from forcing ourselves. It comes from small, gentle moments adding up over time. So if you like these practices, I have lots on my channel, or if you ever want to do deeper, more personal work, that's more personalized to you, then you can check out the links in the comments, or in the description. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.